Well, see, we got English bulldogs, me and him both from the same breeder, and that they have problems with hip displacement.
Do you have a bulldog now?
Yep.
What happened to that other Chinese dog?
Left with the X.
Oh,
I assume that was going to be the answer.
that wasn't the X?
To be alive, if you can't do that.
What's that? The dog? Yeah.
Oh.
You rocking and rolling here?
Oh, well, you'll look at that. I take that back.
Welcome to Strong and Petty, episode 18. If Strong and Petty was a person, Devin would marry it now.
we're committed long enough. We've been together 5 months now. About 4.5.
Yeah, so
It's been 4.5 months actually. This
That's
shit.
crazy.
the podcast been doing for 4.5 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
18 episodes, right?
I guess that's just that makes sense. That's crazy. It feels like just flown by. 4.5 months.
Yeah, it's like the
It's
best.
kind of crazy that we're at 18 episodes already.
Yeah.
It is. Statistically, I think lots of podcasts fail before 10, 8. You had talked about that.
10.
10 episodes where they fall apart, I think.
Yeah.
People they just get bored of it.
Yeah.
It was like this kind
Yeah,
of
and they're not getting it. They thought they'd be like, oh, I'm going to start this podcast and be famous or whatever it is.
Get 1 million views.
And I think we would do
That
this
was
if
not
nobody
our
listened.
anticipation, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Once my movie comes out and Tyler wins CSM, we'll drop Devin and just do our own show. And that's when we take off.
I
Devin
don't
can
find this as funny as you two.
We'll just take away Devin's mic. That's all that is.
I'll just sit here for.
Yeah, you can still hang out and
I'll sit
everything.
here
Yeah.
and smile.
People like seeing Devin on the podcast, but
Everyone needs a good laugh.
Yeah.
I actually would be curious, like what's like the percentage of our people from like rural, like we were looking at the stats and the numbers recently, but they don't tell you like
Where they tell you where they live, like in terms of the country.
who has the last name Penner that's watching, and who has who lives in Southwest Manitoba.
We would do a vote on who's your favorite podcast host, but then people would get offended.
I would get offended by that. Yes.
Would you get offended?
Yeah.
If you were number one, would you be offended?
No, I would be.
Would you? If also if we did that and everyone it was like 45, 45, 10.
That might offend me then. That might bother me then.
It would definitely
Tyler
go.
just quit.
It would go Tyler, Devin, me.
You think I beat Devin? I don't know about that. I think Devin's got a pretty loyal listener base on here.
I don't know.
Every time that I go to Devin's
I think
gym,
we're all equal, guys.
Yeah, that's what it is. We're all equal.
It's definitely not.
I think every time that I see somebody who knows Devin, they tell me that they listen to the podcast. So not everyone who knows me listens to the podcast. So it must be Devin must be winning.
Well, if you're Tyler's friend and you listen to podcasts, fuck you. Because then you're not his friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends support friends' businesses.
Yeah, that's right. So
Or I just have more friends than Tyler.
you definitely have more friends than me.
I have more people that know me.
Yeah, you have too many. You probably have too many friends.
You also
to
have
be
a
honest
pool.
with
Yeah, I
you.
have a pool. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's calling you? Who's it?
That's my business partner.
I was hoping it was gonna be Danielle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's call Danielle. Let's have a chat with her and let's see what she has to
Should I
say.
throw her on?
Start the show with a bang.
Let's see.
Speakerphone.
Yeah. And she won't know we're recording. When do you guys ask something?
How's the brisket? How's the brisket coming along?
Oh no, that's not started yet.
We'll get it together.
You haven't started yet?
I have it.
Devin said you're making us lunch.
Oh really? I don't think so. Unless you want to go to the cabin.
Danielle, would you ever consider coming onto the podcast?
No.
Why?
Why? Because I'm gonna make a fool of myself.
No, we first of all, that's all that Devin does every single week in and week out that he comes on here to make a fool of himself. But we need you on here to defend yourself because Devin's always talking that shit against you.
I know. Maybe one day. Well,
So we had a question on the last podcast.
Covering his ass.
Yeah. Just let you know, Morgan would kill me and save you if we were drowning together as a family.
oh my word.
Yeah, and the only reason is because you could cook. Which is the same reason I said I'd kill the kids and keep you.
So get to work on that brisket, please.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Was Morgan on the podcast?
No, she's just watching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hold on, my mom's calling me. Should we talk to my mom on the phone now?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Love you.
Thanks for being on the podcast, Danielle. Bye. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I sure don't like that you don't answer my messages.
Sorry, you're on speakerphone right now. Sorry.
Oh,
I don't like that
well, I still don't like that you don't answer my messages.
We don't like that he doesn't answer your messages either. We're on your side.
That's Devin.
Yes, I hear Devin. Thank you, Devin. Seriously, Tyler, you better frickin' start answering them because even the question mark, you didn't get.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You weren't expecting to get a licking on there.
Sorry.
Dad is waiting to hear from you, so you
Okay.
can give him a call when you get a chance. Okay, and then touch base, please, because I got to know about when to pick you guys up.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Hey, but you're on the podcast right now, by the way.
No, I'm not.
I just
Yeah,
want, hey, Mom, the meatloaf, the meatloaf.
You're on.
No.
Yeah, you're on the podcast right now. So thanks for giving us a little bit of content. We appreciate it.
Beakley's there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beakley's
Oh,
here,
yeah.
Hello, Beakley,
Hi, Sherry. How are you?
and hello, Devin.
Hi, how's it going? Yeah, we've met. Yeah.
Well, briefly, at the Morris. No, I don't know where it was. Somewhere, briefly.
Yep. Yeah, you seem like a nice lady.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, tell Tyler to answer his message.
I will. I'll.
We'll get on him.
I'm glad he got a bit of a licking on air here.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Mom. Love you.
Bye. Bye.
Well, that didn't go the way I
Wow,
wanted.
me and her feel the same, but you don't answering messages.
Well, yeah. At least now you know that it's not just you.
Yeah, I
guys.
thought
it was
just
My
me
mom
who
gets
doesn't
it too.
answer.
And I actually make a special point of trying to get back to all her messages. So all it takes is just missing one, and boy, oh boy, do I hear about it.
Yeah, I think that's an international thing.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the introduction of both Devin's wife Danielle and my mom Sherry onto the podcast. Devin, you born you?
No, I'm just. I had an employee just quit. I'm trying to answer the messages here.
Oh,
You're
shit.
on vacation.
Put him on the phone. Let's get him on the podcast.
Just gotta
podcast.
quickly answer these. Keep talking. I just gotta answer this.
Okay, let me pull up those retarded questions that people were asking and see if there's anything worth trying to run by the boys here. Okay, let's do this one here. It says, what are good ways to train events if you go to a mom and pop gym with no equipment? Which I think is sort of a confusing way to, because like a mom and pop gym is not like Good Life or whatever they might be talking about. Like,
Yeah,
what's a mom and pop gym might have good equipment.
yeah.
Anyway,
Like I'd consider Devon's a mom and pop.
it's quite
Yeah.
literally a mom and
Yeah,
pop gym.
yeah.
Let's say by mom and pop, let's say that they're assuming just any gym that doesn't have strongman equipment.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Good Life or if it's just like a community center gym or whatever it might
Yeah.
be. What's your recommendation for that, Beeks? Besides the obvious one of go to a better gym.
Yeah, I mean that would be answer number one. Maybe you're on the road or something.
Sure.
Just train. Don't worry about events.
Yeah, that's the best advice I think. Is that it's if you're training for a competition like that and you need to get specific events, either I would say buy the equipment yourself, go to a gym that has it, or don't sweat it too much.
Go in and swing your fist.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Devin, thoughts on that?
I didn't hear the question.
All right. Well, that's the answer. The question answered then.
Yeah.
No, the question was, if you're going to like a gym that doesn't have strongman equipment, how can you train events?
Well, you could train actually quite a farmer walk. Just pick up their heaviest set of dumbbells.
Yeah, there's ways to work
There's-
around shit. Let's say
there's-
let's say we're talking about training specifically for Vita.
Oh, for the so say for
Where it's a
Vita.
very specific event, specific distances, specific weights.
Yeah, I mean, you could do as long as they have an open area. When I was in St. Pierre gym, we had nothing for strongman. I just found the biggest open area they had between racks, and I would do my farmer walks just with more turns. So I'd measure up. We got 30 feet. I'm doing 6 runs, right? 180 feet, we're good. Axle clean and press, just grab a bar. I mean, yeah, it's not the same, but it's similar.
Right.
Even log.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just get stronger pressing
if
overhead.
if your pressing gets better, your logs.
Yeah, but even that, if they have a Swiss bar, do it out of the rack.
Sure.
Swiss bar, just find roughly what your log position will be for your handles and do Swiss bar.
I think it's an interesting thing where it's like if someone is like serious enough that they're, again, this is like removing the possibility that they live in, buttfuck nowhere where there's no gym that has that stuff, or they're traveling like you said or whatever. But if you're serious enough that you're like competing and you're wanting to do events and stuff, like I really urge you to go to a gym that has the stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like first of all, support that gym that's doing it. And second of all, you're going to have a better training experience there, and you're probably going to have more fun there and everything else too. So if you're serious enough about it, try to find a place that's doing it. Or if you're serious enough about it, and like let's say if we're talking about let's use someone like Lane as an example, who lives in Roblin.
Roblin, yeah.
Lane lives in Roblin and goes to whatever I see on his Instagram seems to be
Ramsey's,
a public gym or whatever.
Yeah.
But he brings his own equipment there. He has his own log there and stuff. So like it's never a bad idea just to have your own equipment on hand.
Well,
and
Bushy
keep
and them,
keep it in your backyard, whatever.
Bushy and them at Snap Fitness, he brought his own log. There's a couple things there, and they train with it in there.
Yeah, just have your own equipment. And I know that's easier said than done with the cost of shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, eventually the question does have to be asked whether it's if you're going to a different gym or if you're not getting the equipment over. Like, well, how badly do you want to do it?
Well,
you know what I mean.
When I started strongman, we went to the scrapyard and grabbed steel pipes. I think they were old propane cylinders that were cut. We didn't cut them, like, so they didn't blow up. And I made my own. I had a little welder, and I made all my own equipment out of cutoffs of steel piles and old cylinders, and that's how I made my log, my farmers. My yoke cost me nothing.
Right.
So it was all scrap material, and that's how I trained.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. For the first couple of years, it was all homemade equipment.
Like I could fully admit that like I don't have the capability of doing something like that. So I'm going to make sure that I find a gym.
Oh, my shit broke. Like, I don't know how to weld. I do not know how to weld. We'd be running and the weights would fall off. Like, oh, shit.
That's funny.
That weld didn't penetrate.
Yeah, too often the answer to the question is like just, decide how serious you are and then go to find a gym that has it. And
in Manitoba, unless you're up north, like where Lane and them are, if you're anywhere within an hour of Winnipeg, you can get to a gym that has other equipment. Between Cody's got stuff now at his place out there in Altona.
Right.
Brant had the farm, which is now mostly at Cody's. My gym in St. Malo. You've got your gym in Winnipeg. Brick House in Winnipeg.
Gord's got stuff.
Gord's got stuff. And Tyndall, he would let you train
guys
with.
In Brandon.
The Brandon guys. And that guy's got a nice setup there in Brandon.
Nice little setup there, yeah.
So there's within an hour, if you live southern Manitoba, there's somewhere within an hour of you that has all the equipment.
So I guess some good advice would be then, like, make sure that you're immersing yourself into the community then. Yeah. Make sure you're meeting people. Make sure you're saying hello to everybody at the competitions and stuff. Like, it's there's no better way to get to know people and get better opportunities to use and borrow and practice with equipment than just like get to know everybody at the shows and stuff.
No matter what province you're in, follow the local page. With Manitoba Strongman page, Alberta, Saskatchewan, they'll have a page. You message the main page for the Strongman, and they will literally tell you probably every gym in that province that has Strongman equipment.
There's not a more inviting community.
Yeah, I would like to think so. Yeah. That's we really pride ourselves on making it so that it's easy to join and easy to get involved and easy to stay involved once you're here. I think that's a good answer to that question.
Yeah.
I think that was the end of all the dum-dum.
Yeah, my bad. I got sidetracked.
There was the one that you brought up.
Oh, yeah.
Thor
Yeah,
powerlifting.
we had a good question there. Sort of playing off of the Brian Shaw thing. Where's this here? Do you pee or poo? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which one of the hosts fornicates the most number of strippers? Well, it's clearly our guy who's running the computer. We should talk more. Like, where's this shit? I don't even know who you are. I'm guessing it was directed towards me. Okay, so you've touched on Shaw. What about Thor competing in his own powerlifting meet and winning it? If I recall, there were some questionable depth calls. I mean, there's questionable depth calls at every powerlifting comp I've ever been to and seen.
Yeah, I mean it's
and there's you could probably go to every one of our Strongman shows and pick apart my calls and say some of them are questionable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think that like the
questionable calls will always be in those sports.
Yeah, if you're suggesting that like
right, you're more the powerlifting guy than
no, 100%. There's always questionable calls, and the thing with strongman versus powerlifting is that powerlifting you can set up a show to be successful with the right events.
Right.
Or sorry, strongman.
Yeah.
Right. Powerlifting, they are what they are. You squat, you bench, you deadlift.
Yeah.
And so he can't tailor it to favor himself. It's just who enters. And if no one stronger entered, then you win.
That's the same thing I thought. Unless they're saying that they gave Thor some lifts that were high squats. Because you generally, your deadlifts are your deadlifts, your bench is your bench. Those calls were pretty... The only one that could be a questionable call would always be the squat.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this. I watched, obviously, the pec tear because everybody watched that.
This is older than that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's not the one you were talking about?
No.
Did he not host the one where he...
I think he might have hosted that one too, but he hosted one a while back when he was just getting out of strongman. He did a powerlifting meet.
And he won that one?
Yeah.
So that's it's different for strongman because you can tailor events to your strengths. Like we did with Morris. We tailored everything to Jeff for strengths. Screwed our own homeboy. But with powerlifting, you can't tailor shit.
No. It is
You
what
could
it
buy
is.
judges, I guess, but I highly doubt that was happening there. I would not
I
ever throw that out
remember the squat and it was high, but like, fucking look at the heavy, like the Dave Hoth has the heaviest squat ever, right? That was a mile high. Like they're all high. Who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been to some comps this year, some private comps where I thought at least 20 or 30% of the squats should not have counted.
Yeah. So
I'm like, well, those were all high, but
for the question to be like, oh, like, what do you think about him winning his own show? It's like, it's fucking Thor Bjornsson, man. Like he's one of the strongest guys to ever live.
Yeah.
It was. I believe it was held in Iceland, so I think it was mostly like Icelandic dudes who were doing it.
Yeah.
And like, so the pool was somewhat shallow that they were pulling from, because it's like guys weren't gonna. I don't think a lot of guys like flew to Iceland for the competition or whatever.
no, not
So
for
it's like-
powerlifting.
it's like, of course he's gonna win. You know what I mean? It's just like that's not weird, and it's all and it's.
But
and like,
these guys that are always questioning that shit, are the guys that post their videos on Instagram and say, yeah, the depth just wasn't there today, my hips were tight. Or I know I should have been deeper, but here's my video.
yeah, I do like that too.
Yeah.
Well, I like working on depth. That's one that I like a
That's
lot
right.
too.
Every time I see a video,
Yeah.
working on depth. Clearly your work ethic's dog shit because you were nowhere near working on it.
I love that, the idea that you're working on doing the lift properly.
And I had a guy
it's
a guy in my
but
gym.
with lots of weight though.
Yeah.
But you're hitting a barely sub maximal weight, but you're working on that depth though.
I had a guy in my gym that he squatting the bar, squatting 25 aside, like a smaller guy. He's getting going, and perfect depth with the bar, perfect depth with a 25. Put a plate on, maybe an inch high. Put a 25 on, now we're 3 inches high.
Yeah.
Goes to 2 plates, now we're doing a quarter squat. And I'm like, what just happened here? Your first 2 sets look so clean,
It's like, so you can do it.
and then it's just as the weight comes up, you can see that the knees shaking as they come down, and then the depth is sacrificed.
Yeah.
I always say that because I had a squat back in your gym when I hit a max squat.
Yeah.
And you guys like, yeah, and I could see it in your face. You were just giving me that pat on the back, like you really fucked this up. We're gonna say you got it. And I don't know if you remember it, but I remember it because I know it wasn't to depth. And it's been 12 years. It still eats me up that
That's
you guys
funny,
said
I
it.
don't
That you
remember
guys
that.
said it was okay because you said it was okay, and I could see it that it wasn't okay. And I'm like,
That's good friends right there.
yeah, and it still bothers me because I've never went actually heavier than that squat in my life. I just have never hit a max since 2011 in a squat.
really?
Yeah, I've never done a max
2011?
squat.
Holy smokes.
Never hit a max squat. 2012, sorry. Never hit a max squat since. A single. Yeah.
What could you squat right now?
If I could squat, I don't know. If I could squat 450 right now, I'd be happy. With my current state
believe
of my
this.
back, I couldn't load up much of anything.
I did
You would probably still do 600.
No, I did a beltless quick warm up 455 out of curiosity the other day, and I think I probably right now have about 505 in the tank.
Nice.
I don't even know if I'd be at 450 then.
Really?
Yeah. I load up 200 pounds of back, and my lower back just starts. It's just like convulsing, like it's just shaking.
Shaking
It's
and
not there
quaking.
yet. It's not. We're building it back, but it's nowhere near there. Yeah. No, I would. What would you? You're 600 squat right now? 650?
Not 650, but 6 something. Yeah. But that's I like squatting. I've recently learned to like squatting.
Love squatting.
Yeah, I never
Every
really
damn-
liked it.
Yeah.
But I was always trying to do it too much like a powerlifting, like West Side style, like sitting way back and only going. And then now that I've kind of like I do like high bar now and the more like an Olympic style.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot more now. Actually, I like it a lot better.
Yeah, I do a ton of SSB squats.
Yeah, that's mostly what I do
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
I like,
With
And narrow stance, even I can get to depth now, which I used to never be able to do.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
with depth for me, I actually find I'm better once I have a bit of weight on the bar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like empty bar and a 45, I have to like push for depth.
Yeah.
And
Get
once
that built-in squat suit, hey?
sorry,
You get that built-in squat
yeah,
suit.
yeah, exactly. Then once I start getting a bit heavier, it helps me sink it in.
Well, all these guys saying I can't hit depth. You could see them in video, stop and go back up. Go all the way till your ass hits your calves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And most of these guys don't have calves or asses, so they will go 6 inches below depth.
yeah.
It's
Below
just, it's
parallel.
just a straight line from
Yeah.
their upper back to their
Yeah.
to their
Yeah.
ankles.
Yeah, when their Achilles heel touches, it goes right up to their scapula.
They have no problem standing to shit in a hole. No mess.
But yeah, for the Thor thing though, and it's also the same. I don't want to give the same answer as the Brian Shaw thing, but like Thor's a fucking star, a bona fide star outside of Strong, even more than Brian Shaw is.
Yeah.
So if he's like, hey, I'm going to attach my name to this thing, nobody who's at that meet was like, oh, what the fuck? Like Thor's here. It's like they all want him to be there. They all want more eyes on it.
good
They
for the
all-
sport.
It's good for the sport. It's
100%
good,
it is.
it's good for that specific meet. It's good for the sponsors. It's good for everything. So that's what people are going to have to start to kind of recalibrate their brains a little bit when it comes to strength sports, where now there's like a lot more financial involvement in in these things, right? Like so, like the big money meets for powerlifting are getting bigger, more sponsors, more eyes. So you're gonna start to see more of like a showman aspect to it. I think where you're gonna see guys, crossing over, whatever maybe, and the same thing with strongman stuff too, where you're gonna see like Brian Shaw doing his show and stuff. Like it's like whatever's gonna draw more eyes to this thing, and rightfully so, is what they're gonna do.
Did Brian Shaw have his in a stadium this last year? Or
yeah, he has it like in a
he did this year, right?
like a little
because he had that car light
it's
press.
like a little indoor thing, or like I say little, but it's like as far as like a stadium goes, it's small, but it's I think it's like
I think that event
pretty big venue. I think
that event will grow now that he's retiring from the sport. It'll grow more and more.
Yeah.
Now that he has more time to put into it.
And it's like it's so rare where you get someone like Thor who's like a star outside of the sport. Like he's got the fucking mountain thing, whatever.
Game of
and
Thrones,
like,
and
so it's like for him to attach his name to anything at all that has to do with strength sports, like do that as much as you possibly can, except for boxing matches.
He hasn't had
Whereas as much as you possibly can, except for boxing
but he hasn't
matches.
had to sell himself out on YouTube and
No, he's
Instagram
done it much less. Well, he's tried, and then he was like, "Oh, I can't speak English," so it's not it's not exactly thrilling content when you have this like guy struggling through English, and like he also had like Bell's palsy, so it's like it's hard to understand.
Yeah,
and it didn't make for great YouTube content. So everyone makes those fucking videos where it's like, "Oh, here's what a strongman eats in a day. Here's my 12,000 cal." It's like, which is not what you eat, and whatever, but that's fine. And it's just like every strongman makes that video. Every strongman makes. Here's me reacting to gym fails.
Oh, I hate that.
Every strongman makes those fucking videos. It's just the most fucking derivative, boring shit.
What do you think of those reaction videos?
I don't like them.
No, I hate them.
No. For anything, I don't like reaction
I hate him as
videos.
much as I hate the word cringe.
It's just boring. It's just boring, and like there's no context to anything, and it's just like, who gives a fuck? Like Eddie Hall does that all the time. That's his thing now, is like sitting there watching videos and him going, whoa! Like it's just, who gives a fuck? Like it just doesn't matter.
A million people watching that shit. And then we get
and then to what I'm just saying though, but it makes people watch. So
then we get a dude saying our name of our podcast is stupid. He watches reaction videos.
Yeah.
And with 6 numbers beside his name.
I went to his page too, and he just posted videos of him playing video games.
Yeah, I saw
how original.
Yeah.
Yet there was another 80,000 people with the same name as him on YouTube because he had to have 5 different numbers behind his name.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back here because
we butthurt over that?
We're going to be hung up on this one for a while.
This is the petty part of Strong and Petty.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
Fuck, I should have screened. I had last time I did like ask us whatever questions you might have, and then I didn't screen cap them, and now they're all gone. There's a whole bunch that we didn't get to, but whatever. Fuck it. What do we got coming up?
This will be 2 weeks past Vita and Western. So we're going to be rolling up. We'll be 2 weeks out, or 2.5 weeks out of provincials.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So this will come out on the 11th.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've holy shit, we're trying to like time travel here now. So we've done provincials, we've done westerns, all that shit. We're leading into provincials.
Yeah, Pat somehow pulled out a win there at 105 Canada's, which is
Pat
crazy.
did not pull out a win at 105
Yeah,
Canada's.
it was nuts what he pulled out there.
Pat's a great representative of the sport for the community that he's involved in, but he's not going to be, and I don't mean farmers,
Are you saying
by
the
the
community
way.
of people below 5'5"?
I'm not saying short people, and I'm not saying farmers. I'm saying the community.
With nice hair.
Yes, that community.
Oh, well, this
Shout out
comes
to
out
his
as month's
hairdresser.
going to be over.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. If Pat Olsen got last and has offed himself for this episode, my condolences.
Yeah, sorry to Pat's family.
Should be a short funeral, though.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
He actually only has to go 3 feet under.
And his casket's vertical.
Yeah, it was faster to bury him standing up than laying down.
2 pallbearers.
Oh, he's going to be pissed when he hears this one, boy. That's funny. Well, sorry, Pat. When we struggle to come up with content,
Yeah,
our friends eat shit. That's just usually
little people, big casket.
That's good. That's how it's gonna have to be. Did we have any? We fucking fired through those questions so fast last
There were
time.
40 questions, but
and they're all like
37 of them were
it's like, who
directed towards Devin.
Yeah, how many men have you kissed and just like shit like that?
How many strippers has Tyler been with? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that was one of the questions. Who
Yeah, it was,
smashed the most strippers? And I can tell you right now, it's not Devin.
Yeah. If it was all of a sudden me, we'd have some.
that would be curious.
Hope you have an extra room down here.
We'd be getting Danielle back on the line and asking.
Here, I'll see if also I had something that comes through I missed.
Okay.
Keep going with something.
Oh God. This is what. See, this is okay. Even Deloli commented on it last time, where he's like, "You guys should do the late recordings more often because Devin's more on the late recordings, obviously." And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
I think that we should get Devin to drive into the city once every 2 weeks, and we'll do a 9 p.m. recording every time.
Every time I scroll past, you see that one about the bridge over COVID. I want to go and slash that guy's tires. Has Beaks cleaned out his car yet, or is still waist deep in fast food wrappers?
So I don't get that because I'm not really a fast food guy.
Maybe they're thinking of me because that's definitely my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, my car is full
Or
of
it's just
fast
a
food
failed
wrappers.
attempt at being
Someone
funny.
said they're here
I
for
guess.
us, by the way.
They're here for us.
Yeah, ask us or send us an message. I'm here for you with a heart hand thingy.
Oh, that's nice.
It's nice, but it doesn't really help when it's an anonymous thing. You
I
fucking
didn't know
retard.
I didn't know your mom. I didn't know your mom listened to the podcast, Tyler. Who do you text the most? Well, Tyler clearly doesn't text his mom. That'll tell you.
I don't text anybody very much. Yeah.
I miss you. This one went right over my head. I miss you, and then money sign name.
No idea.
Did you catch that?
Some of these listeners
I saw it.
are just too clever and too funny for us. I can tell you that right now.
What's the stupidest thing you thought as a kid, and the most embarrassing thing you've done? Probably been on a podcast with these two.
Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah.
The stupidest thing. The stupidest thing that I thought as an adult was that a podcast was a good idea, and the most embarrassing thing that I've done was do the podcast.
We should talk more. Clearly, we shouldn't. Do you have a middle name? These questions, yeah, these are zingers, boys. Spill the tea on your first kiss.
What did it say? What's your middle name? Why would that be a question that you'd be like, I have to ask this anonymously?
Next time, what's your SIN number?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Like, what's your mother's maiden
What's
name?
the last three digits on your MasterCard?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're getting played here. We don't realize it.
We wouldn't realize it. We'd give you all our hint. Who's your best friend in elementary school?
Oh my God, what was it? What did someone say? Your
kiss.
first kiss?
Can you remember your first kiss? How old were you when you had your first kiss?
Jesus, I mean, I don't know, but like I thought we had like a mostly male audience. Didn't we just look at the stats? We had like 75% male audience. Like,
Yeah.
who's asking these?
We had 0.4% are not specified. That's where this came from.
That's the 0.4 question.
Still
right
haven't hit
there.
the non-binary yet.
Holy smokes. Your mom.
Man, that's a sad life you live.
I don't know. Like that's. Who,
But it's memorable.
But yeah, it was very memorable. Yeah, it was very, very memorable.
Can you remember back to the 80s?
Barely.
That's probably
some
actually
Zubaz
legit.
sweats.
Probably when you had your first kiss was the 80s.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
81.
81?
Yeah.
9?
Be right around there.
Devin,
No, dude. I think I had my first kiss when I was 16.
would you kiss Danielle for the first
15,
when
16?
you were 19 and she was
16.
14?
I think my first kiss I was 16.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
You're a late bloomer there, Haiti.
Wow, yeah. I was always the guy. I always had my brother and my cousins. They'd go out and they'd hook up with all these chicks, and I was a short, fat kid, so no one was hooked. I was like, oh, you got a cute friend. Yeah, I'm the cute, fat kid. This is great. And I would just make friends with them. So there'd always be like a group of them, and then it'd be the one girl that no one wanted, and I'd be the dude no one wanted.
Nice.
So we just end up hanging out. all these other ones are fooling around, and I'm just like, wow, so you want to
Just sitting around.
We'll get some ice cream.
Yeah. I know a good pizza place at 2 in the morning. So yeah, my first kiss, I think I was in grade 12, man. Yeah, it was a sad life. Wow. Look at me now, though.
Killing it.
Wow. This is I'm kind of depressed now. Wow.
Okay, like we're gonna let's put a time stamp or something here because we're gonna have to think of something to talk about here because we're struggling.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to probably just stop the episode and get rid of this depressed part. Now I don't know what to do.
We don't.
Shit.
Do we have any? We didn't think to ask any questions or anything besides these shitty fucking.
Well, we got the
Yeah.
shitty ones. Yeah, that's all the ones we had. We had some from last time too.
Do you? Let's pull
we
those
did,
up
yeah.
then, because I had a bunch from last time that I can't find now. I thought they would save on my old notifications.
Let me take a look. Oh, these are some bad ones. These aren't questions though. Oh, Devin and Gore drinking a Bud Light. Western's predictions. I guess that's already gone, eh?
We did that.
Yeah,
one
yeah, we did that one. How's Nationals plans going? Hey, speaking of that, Nationals going right.
We did all those ones.
Yeah. Well, you touched on that. We're making more progress with that. Nationals?
Have we done anything since then?
Yeah. I made some calls and some equipment stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to get that shit rolling.
What about Magnus?
I got the event list for Magnus ready. I can't say it obviously until he announced it, but I've got that figured. So I got
Why don't we talk a little bit about the Magnus then? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go into that. Okay. And action.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Magnus will be 3 weeks after this episode, 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
so
what-
far we have 17 guys.
Are you allowed to talk about who have been like signing up for it
No, I don't think so.
for applications?
No.
Okay. Well, let's. I mean, you didn't tell me either. So
Yeah.
So why don't you? But like suffice to say, there's some real heavy hitters.
There's
in
some
this.
heavy hitters. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
looked through the list. There's 17 people who've applied, and I think we're capping it at 12.
12's the number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think is what Magnus had said. He's sort of running that end of it. He sent them all to me. This is the whole apply, and there's some guys I haven't heard much about, but some heavy hitters in there.
Yeah.
Are you doing it, Tyler?
I've applied.
Yeah, he applied. Yeah,
I hope that I'll get through.
a couple guys from Manitoba applied.
Yeah.
I would think 2 of them at least would get in.
So I've never heard of applying to enter a show.
It's
Yeah,
kind of funny because there's just like a form that you fill out online, and then it's just like it's really an honor system based thing because it's just like, what's your best deadlift? And I was like, and I gave my real one, but I could have very easily been like 1,000 pounds.
The best part is, so I'm getting all these things. I'm seeing them, and the write-ups these guys are putting in there. Like they do a bio about themselves, and some of them are like, I competed in here, I've won this, and it's done. And the next one's like, I own 3 sheep, I got a dog, I got a cat. I'm like, this one's like just a full-on comedy write-up, and I'm like, that I could appreciate.
Yeah, there's gonna be some guys at that show that are gonna for the like I said this last time, but the last year was really an exhibition of like Western guys. It was Colton and Jeffers and me and Dan and a bunch of the guys from Manitoba, and this year it seems like it's gonna be a lot more
Well,
spread out.
a bunch of U.S. guys applied.
Yeah, Eastern Canadian guys.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good.
So there were
Some-
2 or 3
some
guys
Quebec
guaranteed
guys.
spots from last year. So the winner of Strongman Corp Nationals Open Division
Mm-hmm.
got an automatic invite. The winner last year got an invite. Or is it-
That's Martin Rayum, I think, right?
yeah. And Jeffers secured his spot, and I want to say Colton Sloan's spot is secured because he got
Probably.
second last year there.
I think that he got second last year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think top 2 from last year got in this year automatically. The winner from Strongman Corp Canada Open Nationals won. He gets one. So I think there's 3 guaranteed invites from what I've seen, because I've seen those invites already. So there'll be 9 guys out of the. Well, there were 14 or 17 as of yesterday. So there will be 5 or 6 guys butthurt that they didn't get in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as like I said, when I think when you see the show, like you see the guys that are getting picked or whatever that I presume will be picked, you'll be like, oh, I get it, because it's really like a next level event now. You know what I mean? Where last year they were, I think when something new like this comes along and pops up, people are like, well, I'll give this a year to see
What
if this
happens.
is legit. You know what I mean? It's not cheap for these guys to
Well,
fly
it almost didn't happen this year.
right.
So that was the thing. They were telling us, Magnus and Tony were messaging me, and we're like, well, if it doesn't happen this year, it's going to really screw up the longevity of it. Because if it doesn't happen the second year, then you try a third year, it's like starting from the bottom again.
Right.
Except the third year starting below the bottom, because everybody they don't give a shit.
Faith in it.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. So I think a lot of guys, when they saw that, like, oh, Jeffers and Colton, they actually went to Iceland and they actually competed in this thing.
Yeah.
It was like, shit, I can do that too.
Yeah.
And for a lot of guys, like, say, like no one in specific, but some of the Eastern Canadian guys, they just need that breakout show.
Yeah. One, JF's going to be competing out in Iceland. I'm sure Max Boudreau's going to be there.
I would think so.
Yeah. And so people are like, hey, I have a chance to qualify, even if you're not one of the best in the world, but because you could, there's a couple different qualifiers, you have a chance to qualify and then go to a show and compete against JF and Max.
Right.
And these big
And be in Iceland too,
Yeah.
and it's just like all
the heritage.
Yeah, all the events they choose are these like incredible backdrops and shit. Like they're like waterfalls and these old like fishing towns and all this shit. So it's really cool, and it's but I think, like I said, when the guys who are looking for that breakout show, like this is like a perfect one to be like. I think the winner goes to Giants Live or something. The winner of the Magnus show, the actual Magnus show.
I think he goes. Yeah, he gets if I'm correct, he gets to go to the qualifiers for Worlds.
Is that what? Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. So
Yeah.
then, because that Rongo dude won, and he's going. I think he's going to Worlds now.
He's always fun to watch, actually.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's a really interesting, like, it's like you don't like to have that happen in Manitoba, to have this like direct line to World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. You know what I mean?
totally.
Like it's
And the heritage involved in Gimli with the Icelandic culture.
right. Yeah, for sure. And so, and like, because it's before it was CSM, and like we've all heard stories, like, say, like, of Scott Cummin, who had to go to a show in the States to qualify for WSM because it was like if you can't beat JF, that was the only way out of Canada to go to World's Strongest Man was to win Canada's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
And if you weren't beating, like, say, Jimmy or JF or these guys who were amazingly strong and really hard to beat, you had to find an alternate route. Whereas now it's nice that there's other ways, like, because again, for years and
More
years,
opportunity.
just more chances for guys to get out and do stuff. Like, I think of, like, say, like a Westerwinski or a Joey Lavalley, these guys who are in Eastern Canada who are they're one show away from just having, like, a real breakout, like, career following that. You know what I mean? Like, they're really, really good and they're ready.
Well, last year we did a 2-day show. This year we're running 1 day, 6 events.
Yeah, so that'll be nice too.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I like a 2-day show. And I especially, yeah, I do. I liked it, especially because it was in Gimli, so it was like nice. I went home afterwards, which is nice. That doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like Westerns, when this comes out, will have been in Fort Mac, which I don't want to do a 2-day show in Fort Mac.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spend whatever. We got our hotels taken care of and stuff, which is nice, but I just don't want to be there for that long.
Yeah.
But it'll also be nice to have a 1-day show, and I personally kind of like a 1-day show too because it makes everybody has to have their conditioning up, everyone has to have their recovery up and stuff, which is nice.
Does every pro show have hotels covered for you guys?
Yeah,
Like on the circuit or in general?
in general.
So do the amateurs like Dan and them get their hotels covered for Westerns?
Fuck no,
No.
no.
Okay, so it's just the pros.
Just the professionals. That's just some of the little perks that you get. You get taken care of in little bits like that, and like there's no obviously there's no like registration fees for anything.
I'm
and
not
stuff.
covering your hotel at Gimli.
I shouldn't need one. I live 30 minutes, but it's like 30 minutes from my door to go to Gimli, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
But that's a standard. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's one of the little perks you get. But Gimli, yeah, it's and not to mention, I mean, you're competing in front of Magnus for Magnuson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're competing in front of like the fucking Wayne Gretzky of strongman. Like what do you?
Huge crowd as well.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
and the lead host of Strong and Petty will be putting on the show.
Absolutely, that's
Am
a
I?
big deal. That's a huge deal.
You weren't able to MC Vita, right? You said no.
Vida, I can't do.
Okay, yeah. That's all good. I wanted to ask a question to you actually because you competed against. There's a guy doing the 105 kilogram show that did Westerns, last 2021, and now he dropped down the 105 kilogram show. They posted him yesterday.
I don't know.
Damn it.
Oh, Sam Risling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't he an animal in the open class already?
Yes. So he's a guy who I think he blew his patella tendon.
Oh,
And
shit.
he's this is his comeback show. He's slimmed down. He's like
When he started as a U90
yeah.
and then went all the way to the open, now back down.
Yeah, he's not a super tall guy. I want to say he's like maybe 5'9", 5'10",
Arms the
maybe.
size of my leg.
Yeah, but he's really jacked, and he's coming back from an injury, so he's kind of doing it the smart way, where he's like, I can compete in a lighter weight class, so I might as well give that a shot first. And then I think he'll end up being back in the open division again before too long.
We got a couple questions just rolled in. Actually, a really good one.
Okay.
What is your first clue that a show isn't going to be a good one? Organizer or athlete perspectives?
Oh, that is an interesting question. Starting late.
Yeah.
Starting late.
Yep.
That's usually a bad sign. If you show up and nothing's happening, that's not a good sign. Like if you show up and there's just like people are just sort of like lounging, unless everything is set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's not really a good sign.
See, and it's been a while since I've competed outside of my own show. Years. When you're rolling into shows, well, you're at the pro shows. They're probably already. Is everything pre-set up right at these shows? Like we run a good job of pre-setting up.
Yeah. So it's
Our shows are set up. Besides MSM, because we have a 1 hour window to get set up and get going.
right.
Vita, we're showing up at 10. Show starts at 1.
Yeah.
By 11, I'll have the whole show set up, and we'll just be sitting there waiting for 2 hours.
Yeah. That's how it was for.
It gives us time for damage control.
Yeah, see like the show, the Farm Strong show that me and Dan did. It was like we went there the night before and all the equipment was there because
nice.
they were able to do that because he lives in the town, right? So he just had everything there set up, brought his trailer there, unloaded it, so we could all put our hands on the equipment and check it out.
That's nice. Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, when you show up somewhere, it's like it's either ready to go or it's very very near ready to go. Like for the competition stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you talk about like what's the things that's going to be a sign that it's not going to be a good show. To me, what makes a show, I wouldn't say bad, but not as good, is if it's really, really long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what makes a show really, really long is just a couple minutes here and a couple minutes there.
It all adds up.
It really
so
does.
fast.
It really does.
The intermission between events also
Right.
taking 20, 25 minutes.
And that happens all the time where all of a sudden it's just like everyone wants to take a break, including the people who are volunteering, including the people who are emceeing, including the people who are organizing or whatever it might be. So all of a sudden, it's just like you don't even realize that like, oh fuck, it's been 15 minutes. We've been sitting here chatting, and now you know what I mean. Like the athletes are all aware of it because they're ready to fucking go. But the people who are just enjoying like a moment to themselves of not hustling and moving equipment and stuff, it's hard. You know, you don't want to tell them to get the fuck moving, but you really do have to. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, if it takes you an extra couple minutes to go get something that you forgot or whatever the fuck it is, like those things all add up, and then all of a sudden it makes for an extra hour at the end of the event or whatever.
And what we do at our shows, and I mean, shout out to my wife for that, but I'll often start the next event before she's even ready. Give me the first 3 names.
Right.
You can finish tallying up the shit as I'm going.
Right.
That way we keep our rest periods down, or our intermission periods down,
Yeah.
way down. And I do that. What are the first 3 names? So they can get those people going. Then that gives you 3 or 4 minutes now to finish up the scorekeeping. Instead of waiting those couple minutes, let's get rolling.
Yeah.
Morris really moved along quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's
And especially having the screw up of the truck pull
Yeah.
and everything, and the deadlift bit of screw up, we still ran it in record time.
Yeah.
I think that like an underrated thing of it too is that like so I don't remember if I told you this, but somebody joined my gym based on the Morris show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they came and they said, "Oh, I watched the show on Morris. I'd like to start doing some strongman stuff." So we signed up, which is like perfect.
That's all. That's exactly what the purpose of this is.
But I think that it would be it's easy to sort of like underestimate that. Like, what if he got there and instead of being a nice tight like what was like three something the show? I think. What if it was 6 hours instead?
Yeah.
And what if he was really bored by the end of it? You know what I mean? Like, what if it was like by the time the show rolled up, he was like, "Fuck, I'm like thankful it's over now." You know what I mean? And that's all of a sudden like that spectator experience is really important too.
Yep.
And especially when we're talking about something where it's like we're trying to sell this as an event to people, where it's like people want to come watch it, which I think that sincerely people do if it's a nice tight show that it's explained to them what's going on. And it's not like punishing them for being there, where all of a sudden they're sitting there waiting like 15 minutes of like what's happening? Like I don't even know what's going on right now. You know what I mean? And that's how we're going to be able to not only maintain an audience who wants to come see us, so that like the lovely people at Rumble in the Valley will want to have us back again next year, but also we can pull people from the crowd if it's like good enough, if it's exciting enough. You know what I mean? They can see it and be like, "Fuck, I want to do that too."
And that's our plan with the Strong Manitoba thing. Like we made it into a company to start doing the stuff.
Yeah.
And what me and Ty were talking about is we want to make this a spectacle that we can sell this to festivals.
Totally.
Here, you want because I already had some contact. I say, do you like Morris? Morris hounded me for 2 or 3 months to get the show there because I just said we didn't have time this year. Glad they hounded me, but that's the goal. Here's our price tag. We'll bring us into your show. This is our price tag to come in, and then we'll put on an efficient show. You give us a 3-hour window, we'll run a 3-hour window. You say with 2.5 hours, we'll tailor a show to 2.5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we'll tailor it in to get these shows done. But for one, builds a sport, and 2, it's a spectacle for people. And for that reason, like the guy who came to your gym, that is the purpose. Get people into the gym.
Right.
Oh man, that's what we got. Is watching this shit on TV. It looked so cool. We got to try this.
Do you want to know how we heard about Morris? Podcast.
Was it?
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
so it's working. It's succeeding. And I don't know how he heard about the podcast. I forgot to ask him that. But he's a guy who had no connection that I was aware of to any of the
scenes.
scene or the strongman stuff. And so,
So he heard about it and drove out to Morris to watch.
yep.
Good for him.
And then signed up to your gym.
Then sign up to the gym.
And lives in St. Malo.
No, he's a young guy who I hope he ends up sticking around and enjoying it, because he seems to so far, and just like a tradesman. So good cut,
Yep.
good, well cut out for the
Blue collared
thing.
man.
Nice blue collar guy, yep, just like everybody else in
What kind
our
of trades you into?
I forget, but he did tell me though.
I'm the guy who would remember that. Don't know his name, but I remember what trade he does. What does he do for work? Yep, that I remember.
Yeah,
I'm bad for that.
yeah, no, but it's been going well. We have a woman who joined too, based on just kind of like the buzz that we have right now, who's like, apparently she played like football for Team Canada.
Holy shit.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'm excited for that one. So we're seeing like a nice growth for strongman, that we're just like, it's like finally, you know what I mean? Like it feels like it.
Have we ever had the numbers in the province that we're having right now?
Fuck no.
If I think
Not
back
even
to my
close.
shows back in early 2000s there, even Winkler, great show, but 12. I was at Brent's Barn the other day. I was looking at the posters on the wall, and a lot of them 8 people, 9 people, 12 people.
Yeah.
That was a big
But
show
there's
in
also
Manitoba.
Rainer, Ben.
They were big names,
Dallas,
yes.
but they're not from the province.
No, they were. Yeah,
That's what I mean, is that
Dave
they-
Oslin, Joel
yeah.
Dirks, Ben, like, yeah,
Fucking-
50% of the guys were out of
Bus.
province.
Like these are guys who were not from Manitoba.
Yeah.
So no, I would say far and away.
We've never had this kind of growth in the province.
Certainly
No.
never from women,
No.
never from the lighter guys.
Yeah.
Which
The
is
weight class
which is either a
opened
good thing
that
or a
up.
bad thing based on how you look at
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah. We like to shit on them. Yeah.
but we've definitely never seen, and like I want to kind of sit after the season and do some numbers of like how many brand new people, how many people ended up doing more than one show, how many people stuck around from the novice show, because I think we've seen like a pretty good, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
Retention.
Thank you. We've seen a pretty good retention from like the novice show to the next show to now this third show now, where we're still seeing a lot of.
We figured the novice, then we might dip down.
Yeah,
but it's increased.
It's gotten better somehow, and I think we only have like 4 less people for Vita than we had for Tolstoy.
You know what I'm excited about? Now we'll have passed already because Vita's 2 weeks before this episode, but so Lexi jumped in to try strongman. I've been running her for a long time. So her and Anna in 2 different weight classes, 56, 64. But I'm happy that Anna finally has someone similar weight to finally compete against than the open girls. I think that'll. I don't care which way they place. I just think it's going to be a lot more fun for Anna at that show because she finally has somebody to compete by yourself. I give her credit because to compete by yourself and push yourself to hit these max weights where she's struggling sometimes, and you're doing it literally regardless. You win your first place trophy. Right. Now you finally. I'm hoping. And we'll find out by the time the shows will already know, but I'm really hoping that pushes Anna to that next level of now I can actually.
I told her before that mental toughness that it takes to still push yourself when there's nobody else to push.
That's what I mean.
It's really something. It's. I think a lot of people wouldn't understand until they've done it, and it's really really hard. And she's done it for. So like she told me like when she competed at nationals. That was like the first time in like literally years that she's competed with somebody else in her weight class.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like years, and it's great. Like it really speaks to her perseverance and her determination in the sport. Just to be like, well, fuck it, I'm still going to do it. I still enjoy it. You know what I mean? And I use her as an example all the time to the other women who are because it just happened to spread really strange. Where I think we have like 1 woman in each weight division. For Vita, so there's 2 in the open now, but there's like open. 1 for every other one. Yeah. So I told him that I was like, listen, like it's going to be a different sort of experience where you're not competing against somebody else, but this still is a competitive experience. You're competing in front of a crowd. You're competing on somebody else's time. You're going when they say go, and it's not like a training day or whatever. It still has to be treated differently. What are you looking at over there?
I don't know if you're showing me or that's just how you.
I'm doing. Well, I have to because I can't screenshot. But we got a couple of questions that rolled actually pretty decent too.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
But yeah, no, I'm just touched it because Lexi's not. I'm bugging her. Get your Strongman Corp membership. Well, yes. I'm not going to do nationals because she wants to do westerns, and then we're going to go to nationals powerlifting. And I told her if she goes and does provincials and westerns and keeps it all together, I will fly her to nationals. I will pay for her flights, and me and Danielle will go with her to nationals. I have these West Shit points.
Powerlifting nationals.
Yeah.
I was like,
but now I've been bugging to get in a strongman.
Say Malo to Winnipeg. I will fly you.
I will charter you a plane. It's got to be a crop duster. I can get a discount on. Pat probably knows somebody.
Probably.
But so I'm really hoping she gets her Strongman Corp number.
I hope so too. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Is calf size overrated, or is my wife serious about leaving me over mine?
Calf size is not overrated. People who say that calf sizes are overrated are those wimps who think that they're all genetic too. Calves can be grown. People have this weird impression that they can't grow their calves.
It's just genetic. It's just too hard to work for most people.
If your name's not Ryan Deloli, then you can grow your calves. But if your name is Ryan Deloli,
has he ever done a calf raise? He probably walks upstairs on his heels.
I would be concerned that his leg would just telescope.
I guarantee he walks upstairs on his heels. To make sure he doesn't use his calves
backwards.
He's got more shin muscles than he has calves.
People love to use that this notion that it's like, oh well, I just can't have big calves. It's just like blah blah blah. It's like how hard have you trained your calves? Like how hard have you gone on really trying? Like how many days in a row? How many it's such a weird cop out answer that people like to use for that. Like
100%.
I've never understood that.
Do you got calves?
No. I got enough to not get teased.
Do I have enough to not get teased? Hey, no, comment on the YouTube video about my calves.
You do not have enough to not get teased.
These jeans are tighter on my calves.
Yes.
What here?
Pillow.
Here's a good one. Actually, goes into next training. When are pause reps beneficial to training?
Anytime you want to do them.
I wonder if this is an event specific question.
Is that a strongman question?
Let's
touch on it from all sides.
Answer the question for powerlifting.
I think it's great for building strength because you take away the stretch reflex and you take away some of your rhythm.
Yeah.
And it's just pure strength out of the hole. Plug it in your program for a 4 to 8 week period.
How long a pause are we talking? I was reading a stat the other day, a study done, and you would have seen this one. I swear they said the stretch reflex
4 seconds.
is 4 seconds. So after 4 seconds, the stretch reflex is gone. Not seem like a long time for stretch reflex to hang around.
That's the thing is that you're not necessarily looking for it to completely dissipate. You're just looking to kill momentum and kill
Yeah.
whatever else. So
Yeah, I mean
4 seconds would be a long ass pause.
And when you're under a bar and you're
Your
doing
brace fails
like
after that.
triples or singles, 1 second feels like an eternity.
Yeah.
Like 1 second, 1 full second, you'll never see that in a competition. That's a good full pause, and you'll develop better strength doing that.
Yeah, and lots of people out there one pause squats. They pulse their pause squats, and it literally looks like they just slowed down the bounce. I'm like, no, that wasn't a pause. The momentum's got to stop, guys.
Yeah.
But I noticed that with Lex, I used that this year because her bench is lagging behind the rest of the list, and we did a ton of pin pressing work, 1 inch, 2 inches, and 3 inches off the chest, a bunch of, and her bench gained about say 10 or 15% this off season, and I've been struggling to build her bench.
Yeah.
So the pause reps benefited her huge, and some of the pauses were literally half an inch off her chest, and we just drilled those pauses. And I do 2-3 count pauses, and they're on the pins.
Yeah.
And it actually was a huge benefit for her. I think
I
the pause,
love pin presses.
yeah.
Oh, big time. That EFS bench you have that
Yep.
used to be ours.
Well, it's got so many. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite pieces of equipment ever.
We just bought like the Rogue copy of that one from
Nice.
somebody. Yeah,
Oh,
so
it's such
nice.
a good
Yeah,
bench.
it's nice.
Gay.
It is kind of, but it's
Straight in by Titan.
it serves the purpose.
Rogue builds nice stuff. Sponsor our podcast.
For Rogue. Come on, get the what are you guys waiting for?
We
Sponsor the
name drop
podcast.
Thor and Shaw. Like,
Yeah.
just let us up here.
This guy's working for the Rogue's working with the
Yeah, I'm doing Rogue's working with me for the Magnus Classic.
Magnus Classic. Yeah, you're practically
That's-
brothers.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's CC'd an email.
Mr. Rogue, Dan Rogue.
Who's the owner of Rogue, anyways?
uh,
You sounded pretty convincing.
Peter
Dan
Rogue.
Rogue.
I don't know. I don't
Peter
know.
Rogard.
The Rogue brothers.
I find pause front squats often helps carry through to Atlas Stones.
I mean, it's like it's a question where it's like, okay, so when are they beneficial? It's like I don't know, when are they not beneficial? Like they're like when is
Don't
making,
only do pauses, but rotate them in for a block or two.
I mean, even if you for some reason in your crazy little brain decide to only do pauses, like it's gonna help you. Like I just don't think that it's like it would be like when is squatting gonna beneficial all the time.
It is true.
You know what I mean? Like
no, it is true because I used to do touch and go deadlifts.
Yeah.
And now, unless I'm trying to just get my reps done and be a pussy, everything is stop and go on deadlifts.
Yeah. It's
Makes sense.
It's never a bad idea. I
No.
don't think I'd be very hard pressed to find a time where it's like you should not do it. Then maybe like if you're really peaking for a competition or whatever. But
Yeah.
You won't hit your 1 rep max squat is cool because you're pausing, but you will build more horsepower,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
more torque. I would say, right?
Yeah.
I would say horsepower is more defined as the down and up. The torque would be pausing and going up, right?
Yeah.
I think it's very
I don't
beneficial.
fucking know.
Yeah. Here's another one. Could you beat half Thor in a fight, Tyler? That one's directed at you.
Could I beat half Thor in a fight?
Maybe pre-boxing.
Well, let's specify a little bit here. Is he looking at me? Like is it a fight that he's expecting us to be in? This you're making the rules here.
What kind of fight is it? It's a no holds barred street fight, not boxing gloves.
Kumite style?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't beat him. I don't think so. I think that if I had the drop on him, maybe then. I don't know. Like at the end of the day, he's fucking 6'7" and 300
There's
pounds.
weight classes for a reason.
350 pounds.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna lay a hurting on me no matter what. I think so.
Yeah.
That's when leg kicks come in.
Huge.
If I knew how to do one, absolutely.
Yeah.
True.
Leg kicks, Achilles tendon kicks.
Yeah.
I think that despite what a lot of like really cool, hardened Brazilian jiu-jitsu and boxing types would have you believe, I think Thor's going to beat up most people on earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that they would love to show you this video of, oh well, here's this 350-pound guy sparring with a 180-pound guy and getting his ass kicked. It's like, yeah, sure, those happen, but if we're talking about just like two guys fighting to the point where one can't get up anymore, like the big guy's going to usually win that. Like,
and if he has any fighting experience or fighting training, there's no
it's
questions.
all the worse. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's everyone always says, oh, like a black belt in this will kill anybody. You're going against guys damn near 7 feet tall and 400 pounds.
Right.
Yeah.
I always like that. You see that in the comments, like without fail, like when if like a lifting video makes it onto like a mainstream page, like whatever it might be, some sports page or whatever, the comments are always like, well, yeah, but he would lose in a fight, blah blah blah. It's like he's not a fighter. Like this, like it's the most like small dick fucking thing I could possibly think of. Where these guys are just like, yeah, but I could beat him up. It's like maybe you could, but that's also not what this video is about. And
Good
like
for
this,
you.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like, but no one does that to like a hockey player.
Yeah, no.
Like no one sees like a skills competition player who's like rifling these wrist shots and having all this crazy accuracy and being like, well, yeah, but I could beat him up though.
Yeah.
It's like it's this weird thing that's exclusive. This like weird imaginary rivalry between fight sports and strength sports that strength sports has not taken part in any way at all. It's just fight sports that seem to care so much.
Yeah, there's no lifters watching jiu-jitsu videos saying, "Wow, I could tap him out."
Yeah.
I can out squat
I
him.
can out deadlift him. It's like
Yeah.
that's not what they're trying to do. So who
yeah.
cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pride thing. It's
a very weird thing. Yeah, and it's just like yeah, you're tough, man. Like just be tough. Like don't worry about having to be tougher than this guy. Was there any more of those weird ones that came in? Or?
There's one just came up that you guys might get a crack out of. Okay, it's
It's a fucking paragraph. Holy
yeah,
shit.
it's the 6, 12, 18, and 24 challenge. Jerk off, run, drink beers, and eat donuts. So, for example, you jerk it 6 times, run 12 miles, I can't run 12 miles, or kilometers, eat 18 donuts, and drink 24 beers in a 24-hour period. Which one of us 3 could do it?
I could drink 24 beers.
Well, I could drink 24 beers in a 6-hour period.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Four.
I guess start at the beginning.
So you have to jerk off 6 times,
I could do that.
run 12 miles in a 24-hour
No,
period.
it says, "What do you choose?"
Oh,
No, what do you guys? Oh, okay. I thought we all. Oh man.
well, definitely not the running. That's insane.
Yeah, I don't think. I honestly don't.
The running, I'd have to put at 6.
yeah,
And maybe not finish it.
and also not get it.
You
Yeah,
could walk 12 miles a day, couldn't you? How long does it take to walk a mile? 30 minutes?
12 miles, dude.
30 minutes to walk a mile?
Yeah, but 12 of those.
Yeah.
You do 6 hours of walking?
I do that all day.
Not me.
You
No,
run,
no,
you
don't.
run through my mind for 30
No, you
miles
don't
a day.
do 6 hours of walking.
I've hit 10,000 steps in a day. How many steps are in a mile?
That's a bizarre question. So
18 donuts? That I know I could do that.
I've drank. Me
You
and
know
my-
what? 18 donuts actually would be pretty hard to eat.
Me and my friends used to do the case of beer challenge in a night.
24 beers a night?
I never did it, but we try.
I don't know if I could 'cause the bloat.
But we also did it in like it would be from like 5 p.m. until 2 a.m.
I don't know if I could do it
mean?
because
Yeah.
the bloat.
That's
But I've done 24 shots.
that's why
in
I
a
don't
night.
even drink beer.
Yeah, I've done 24 shots in a night.
Yeah.
That I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The running thing has got us all stumped because I'll tell you what.
the running is. I mean, that's the most obvious outlier is that I would never do that.
yeah, no,
Exactly.
I wouldn't do
there's
it.
nothing. Yeah.
I would.
And
I
at
would-
my age, after you nut, you need 24 hours to get the second one out.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not a young podcast here, guys. Besides Tyler, 28.
28 years old. Yep.
Are you 33?
33. Yep. 44. Yep.
42.
Yep.
I got a question submitted for you guys here.
What's up, sunshine?
I need you two to make a prediction on how Denzel is going to do during his strongman workout.
Oh yeah. So they can't. Yeah, you're coming for that.
What is this?
Yeah, I plan on being there. I don't
So
know when
the
it is,
Whiskey
but-
Tango Boys sent me a message that they want to come do a strongman workout at my gym.
Oh, you too?
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
I'm gonna put them through a strongman workout.
Sick. When's that? When are you doing that?
Well, they're asking
A strongman workout or just events? Like
events.
An events
Yeah,
day.
an events day. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
So kind of like we all used to all do barn style.
Yeah.
Start out with tire flips, everybody's puking.
Yeah.
And that no, that's a lie. Start out with 18-inch deadlifts
Yeah.
for a max.
Yeah.
That's what Brent Ham would always do. We'd always hit that.
Everything was a max.
Yeah, and then it was tire flips till you wanted to die. And then we rolled into farmer walks and yoke and chain drag and stones and literally did them all in one day.
Yeah.
Circus
You did that
dumbbell
all in
maybe for some
3
reason.
hours.
Yeah.
And log press had to be in there at a time. There was like 7 events you'd hit every day.
Make sure it's that tire that has the weird tread like this, so it's like you're guaranteed to hurt your bicep on it.
Oh,
Like
that,
the
that
one that-
trellis
the-
board or whatever, that
yeah,
big
whatever that's
bastard.
called. Oh my god.
I have a couple different ones. How do you think Denzel's going to do? Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad
I
I
don't know if
have.
you have a tire light enough.
Well, no, that's why, because I have a double set of all my equipment for females, so we'll be okay for Denzel.
I don't know a lot about Denzel's fitness levels, but what I do know is how much Devin's going to want to make it unpleasant for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's out yet, but you guys just showed me that thing about Denzel puking with the.
The tuning back.
So there's just an episode of Whiskey Tango podcast where
Is that out yet?
Denzel's
No.
loud.
Yeah, it came out
but
this morning.
it will be by this
Oh, okay.
time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, loudly puking. So if you haven't seen that, I urge you to go back and check that out.
That was pretty funny.
I would say that will probably be he'll relive that experience.
Yeah.
I know you'll hold up to whatever I throw in there.
Yeah.
Like, and even if you couldn't hold up, you would do it anyways and die.
Yeah.
Because you just wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I think you'll be fine. Does Denzel train?
He squats 135 in his basement sometimes. Between taking pictures of his daughter.
I was gonna say he goes down there with his baby and takes pictures and then
Well,
leaves.
I'll just get Danielle to bring with one of her pairs of panties. You can put those on.
There should be some sort
We
of a
should
stipulation
actually-
on the line. Yeah,
we should.
there has to be some sort of stipulation.
I want to see the other two do stones.
Okay. Yeah. You've never done stones? So we have a rite of passage at my gym, and I made them do it this weekend. Everybody who does stones has to do it with no sleeves and tacky on the bare arms.
Yeah.
And that is your first stone experience. We had Michelle Kamana came out and did power stairs.
Oh, yeah.
And she wanted to do stones. And she's like, what? I'm like, tacky on the arms. I said, it's just, you've never done stones? Nope, you have to do it once. I don't know. I think there's videos of her just screaming from this tacky, ripping her arms up. And I'm like,
Guys still wear those sleeves?
Yeah.
I thought those were so dumb.
Yeah, the weird leather sleeves I've never really understood. You lose so much touch to the stone.
yeah, you do. Yeah, I have those, and the sweat underneath slides them.
Yeah, I don't
So
get
I
that.
just use hockey tape.
I use hockey tape too.
Oh, yeah, I remember guys
That's
started
like-
doing
But no,
But
you
that's
and
for cleaning
and I have
purposes, but,
150. I have as small as 150 pound stone, so Denzel can do a stone.
Um,
I'm really harping on this guy. I don't know.
I
how
might
strong
take the under on him being able to get that.
really?
he is. You don't think he will?
150?
I don't know.
Did you hear? I know you probably did. Did you ever hear when Swint's brother tried the stone?
No.
Because he came in
Big dude.
big guy, and he came in and stayed with Swint's for a summer and went from like. I'll get the numbers wrong, but it was something crazy. Like he went from like 400 pounds down to like 300 or something.
Dude, that was
like
during that's during COVID.
Yeah.
I met him. Yeah, he had lost a ton of
He lost
weight.
a ton of weight,
Yeah.
and he was just like really healthy and whatever. And he was like trying all this new shit. So he came with us to do strongman stuff at training grounds, and I want to say he lifted the 300. And he got it to his lap, and he was just like, "Oh shit!" And he started to teeter
Oh, no.
backwards, and he landed, and it landed on like the outside of his knee, which ended up not being the big deal. But I saw that, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And like I was just like completely. Like laser focused on that. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And then what I didn't notice was that the stone rolled back and landed on his hand and broke 3 of his fingers.
Holy shit!
Oh,
and
man.
it broke them by like compression.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like they whatever. It was
So I
like
crushed him.
yeah, he crushed his fingers,
Jeez.
and that kind of changed his summer after that. I think.
Yeah, no
He
kidding.
quit the gym.
Yeah, he didn't. He kept going, but it was he had to wear like the metal
Yeah.
finger things, whatever. But
How heavy is Denzel? 170 pounds?
Roughly.
If that, yeah.
I have no idea. But it's,
Bulking right now, he says.
3,000 calorie days.
Extra pizza pops.
No, it'll be fun. We just got to confirm the day for sure. But
that sounds like a fun idea, and I think there should be some sort of stipulation attached to it to whoever
We have to.
does better or worse.
yeah, we can even hit the bags a bit too. I have those set up
That's not strongman.
afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the deal.
if
Denzel doesn't
you-
get the 200 pound stone. Me and him put on the headgear.
Oh, I like it. I like that plan a lot. All right, so we'll
Or he can put on headgear. I'll go with that. Keep it a little more fair.
we'll keep our eyes and ears open for the results of that. Then the Whiskey Tango strongman extravaganza.
Yeah, we'll probably make a good video that both pages can share.
for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah,
That'll
for
be
sure.
good.
So in the meantime and in between time, Deadlift for Dreams. We've kind of gone over that to ad nauseum at this
Keep
point.
donating.
but Keep
Keep
donating.
donating.
And keep registering and keep doing all that. And then if you want to get on a waiting list to Deadlift, talk to Mr. Weekly himself there. At Strong and Petty, at Manitoba Strongman, at Training Grounds, at Devin Penner, at Chud Life, at Iron Age Strength, and text your mom, message your moms.
Yeah,
She wants to hear from you.
that's for sure.